Shall we? We shall. Like my dad used to say, what do you need, a special invitation? We especially invite you to go out the door for weather and more. 1, 2, 3, and we're off. Oh, who doesn't love that? A dog and a cat running out the door on strings on a cold Wednesday, April 2nd. Coldest day we've had in a couple of weeks, I think. And did we get to 32? I think we did get just about to 32, but the thing is, it says about 34 right there. We did not decouple here in Weymouth. That is, at night, on a cold night with high pressure around, a lot of times you're going to go calm overnight as the cold air settles to near the surface and the wind lifts up into the sky. But obviously that did not happen. It happens more inland and in the valleys than near the ocean. So we still have cold air advection. And the $1,000 question, do we have ice in the bucket? Yes, we have ice in the bucket on April 2nd. Want to see how thick the ice is? Not very. Oh, that's fascinating. I am always just thrilled. No two ice crystals exactly the same. And this is so pretty. Let's drop it over here. It's going to melt anyway today. Next to Steve's rock and see how Steve reacts to the ice. Steve. Yeah, Steve's rock. Check it out. So cold air advection. How cold, you ask? How about if we go to the summit of Mount Washington? We did not have an inversion last night. We continued the advance of the cold air, and at 3:20 a.m., it was 2 below zero on the summit of Mount Washington. That is the coldest since 7 below zero on March 23rd, and only the second sub-zero since -2 on March 9th. So we've only had 2 sub-zero mornings in the last 5 weeks in Mount Washington, and here we are in April, and we're getting another one. And we're going to have another one next week. Plenty of snow in Tuckerman Ravine. There's Adam and Jim getting ready to do the next phase over here. That's the grading and grooming we had yesterday. And much like the grading and grooming on this slope, Mount Mansfield Mountain Operations crew had their work set out for them last night, as it was so warm 2 days ago and then icy yesterday. Icy cold, but it wasn't doing anything. And this morning it was 5 degrees on top of Mount Mansfield. And so this high pressure system is still advancing. Here's the surface map this morning, the 1034 high over Quebec and Ontario. It's a pretty strong high. But the cold is not going to last that long because there's a 988 millibar low. Look at all those isobars. They're orange on this map around that low that's coming into Illinois with a tremendous amount of weather. Let's check some other regional temperatures before I show you that weather. At sunrise this morning in New England, cold spot looked like it was 12 degrees at lower elevations. In Pittsburgh, New Hampshire, where it did decouple, calm air. And then Boston got down to 32, but it was still fairly gusty. And in Falmouth on Cape Cod, we also had radiational cooling and calm start at 28 degrees. So this advancing system is going to plow into New England. And it's initially going to plow into the cold air that's in place for a wintry mix. Here is the map this afternoon. Wow, look at that. Just beast of an April storm right in the middle of the nation. And I think it's still getting a little deeper, forecast to go to 984. With a cold front coming across the Mississippi River, tremendous severe weather outbreak expected today. And that mix of blue snow, orange, icy, sleety mix, and green rain is going to be on our doorstep at 2 o'clock this afternoon. So, obviously, this morning, fast skiing, and this afternoon, the clouds are going to increase, so I'm not sure how much the snow is softening up. I'm sure it's already been skied on. Carl Weller watching this video after he's gone skiing this morning. How was it? How were those groomers? Practically blue ice on the non-groomers, I'm sure. So the radar this morning featured that another different batch of snow than yesterday in South Dakota, North Dakota on the north side of that low. And then on the south side of that low, major severe weather outbreak ongoing. Once again, this is about the third major severe weather outbreak in a week with the tornado watch in effect. One tornado warning there in eastern Oklahoma. And you get that little bits of wintry mix on our doorstep in New England already this morning. And if we look at the Severe Storm Prediction Center convective outlook for today, it's about as ugly as it gets for severe weather threat, especially focused there in northern Arkansas, southeastern Missouri, western Kentucky, and Tennessee. Tornadoes are pretty much a certainty. So busy day for storm chasers and residents weary of severe weather. Frightening kind of day. I just couldn't imagine living in that kind of environment, really. I'll take nor'easters anytime compared to that. I mean, it might be fun from a distance, but what could be more frightening than the sirens going off and a tornado warning and a tornado headed toward your house? All right, Steve's taking us on a little walk here. We'll go to the NAM high resolution. This will show the high pressure system. Well, you can't really see it that much, but it's going to split in two. So half of the high goes off to our northeast and half goes off to our southeast. And as that happens, you have a wintry mix coming in here, about 0Z. That's about 8 o'clock. We have lower elevation rain, higher elevation snow. And how long is it going to last? In northern New England, southern New England's just quiet. 10, 11, midnight. So 3 hours of snow. Should be an inch or two of snow up around J Peak and places near the northern Canadian border, where I know I have a lot of viewers. The purple is sleet, then sleet at 4, 5, 6 a.m., and then just some plain rain tomorrow morning. So it's get 2 or 3 inches of snow with sleet on top, and then it rains in the morning. That kind of takes the fun out of it. And that rain mostly stays across northern New England. Rain, snow, turning to rain in Maine there by before noon. But that will be today will be day 12, and then it'll be day 13 in a row with snow somewhere in New England. But the problem is it's raining in northern New England. Not much going on in southern New England tomorrow. The temperature's just jumping up after being in the 30s today into the 60s tomorrow. What a warm front. And it's not doing much in southern New England. Front's kind of shearing out and falling apart, but we are in the warmer air. And then it's on Friday that you have a few showers near the south coast. Cooler air advection in northern New England, but it's only at low levels of the atmosphere, so it's going to stay gray and kind of chilly north, but not really precipitating on Friday. And so Friday could end up being a pretty good ski day. And the weekend doesn't look much better. What is it, T-Rex? Can I help you with something? Are you stuck? T-Rex wants to go in. Look at him running for the door. I guess I can show the Euro. How about the Boston Meteogram using the Euro model? And it shows the temperature today, not even getting to 40. I don't believe that. I think that's a little too cold. All right, I'm next to the door. And then tomorrow it's in the mid-60s. And look at the blue line. The blue line is the dew point. And so the temperature and the dew point are going up to 60 or better. So fog and drizzle are possible in Boston, but it's not really doing much. If the sun comes out, wow, that'd be something. And then Friday, it looks like a pretty nice day, still on the warmer side. But then the clouds come back in, and another warm front, cold front combination, cool and wet Saturday into Sunday, warms up again. And then that Arctic front we've talked about still looks like it's trying to come at us next week, but in kind of a different form, which we will show using the Pivotal Weather Euro model. Good morning. You going to plant hydro seed this morning? Sure. We got a little frozen ground, but they'll hydro seed it. The hydro seeding is going on. So they're going to wrap this up in May. Just take the summer off and come back in the fall. And we're going to go to the Euro now and show the day-by-day, play-by-play. And there's our strong low, kind of dividing the high-pressure system over the New England area in half. Half of it goes north, half of it goes south, but it doesn't have as much staying power. So there's our wintry mix tonight. There could be a 1/4 inch of ice accretion in those red zones in northern New Hampshire and parts of Maine, but nothing as bad as we had a couple days ago. And then we're in the warm air advection. The front falls apart tomorrow, and the cold high is really not racing in here. It's just kind of easing in here on Friday, and just barely cold enough that here comes the next weather system on Saturday, and maybe a little wintry mix on Saturday. After a dry start, it's going to turn wet again in New England, and this is a pretty high confidence forecast. Wednesday's the day you're going to make the call on the weekend. And then Sunday, wet. Oh, goodness. That low is going to our north. Now, that's not a done deal. The GFS is actually a little colder, but of course, GFS still in the doghouse from last month. And then Arctic air, where is it? It's lingering now, and it doesn't look like it's coming in. Sunday at night, it does turn cold enough that some rain changes to snow in far northern New England after the weekend. And then it's cold air advection on Monday, but now the Arctic front looks like it's buckling a little bit. Low pressure developing on the front, which is good to make snow. And that comes in Monday night and Tuesday with a little wave of low pressure. So some new snow possible in far northern New England on next Tuesday into Wednesday. Then the Arctic air is coming in. And next Wednesday is going to be very windy and cold. Most of our Wednesdays have not been too windy, but next week is an exception by the look of this. And that's a fairly high confidence forecast there. And is there going to be a low on that cold front, or the 510 and the 504 coming in here and lifting out pretty quickly, though, next Thursday. And then 240 hours gets us to Friday, April 11th at 8 p.m. And there is a low there. What is it, about 1,008? A little bit like yesterday. But the red lines are now here in New England, so that's warm enough for cold rain. And I'm talking 30s. But there's no really strong high pressure system around to cause blocking. So that could be interesting next Friday with colder air coming in. So next week, not as stormy coast to coast for sure. But in New England, we are going to turn colder. And the temperature on Mount Washington, we just talked about how it's only been below zero a couple times in the last couple of weeks. Could go below zero for a couple of days in a row on Mount Washington next week. So, Steve, you got yourself all tangled over here. These cages are going to go on the peony, and I'll do that pretty soon. It's a constant work trying to free up cats and dogs and clean up my Yankee yard here. I saved the Christmas tree to start fires. I've burned about half of it so far. And I finished cleaning up the peony yesterday. So all those little pink dots there, those are all the new peony that are going to come up. And I'm going to cage them with those red cages. And they're going to plant grass over there. And I'm trying to save these bushes, as you know, but I don't think it's going to work. And so the weather is done. I'm not showing the QPF. It's going to rain a lot in the next week and a little bit of snow. But we run out of skier enthusiasm before we run out of snow in our mountains. And the Mount Mansfield snow stake there, really demonstrative of the double dip. So that line on the bottom, that's the climatological average. And see how there's a little peak and then a dip and then another peak in March? And look how that really matched up and was accentuated this year, the black line on top, when we went from 78 to 98 and then back down. So that's just amazing. Where are we now? I can't remember. 95, 85, 95, right? No, 85. Sorry. Get a little confused there. But there's definitely a climatological up and down. And then the climatological says by the second, third week of April, we are on the fast decline. And we are going to have snow preservation next week. Traveled yesterday to Cape Cod, sort of chasing the back edge of that Monday night wet weather. And then I went to Sandwich High School. What a facility. What great people, teachers, students. Bob Aldridge invited me down there. A big fan of the weather. He's been watching me on TV for decades. And I had a great time with the 9th grade in the auditorium. But I really don't understand it, how society has changed. You know, we used to go to the schools. Well, I've been doing it for 30 years. And about even as recently as 15 or 20 years ago, when you had a bunch of students, you would make a video and show them on the evening news and stuff now. But for some reason, you can't do that. You can't show images of students learning and having fun in a school auditorium. So I had to aim at the ceiling. It's not against the law. It's just one of those things, the problem with society. You just can't. What's the reason? You can't because I don't really know the answer. Why? It's a public school. The kids all want to be on, but they're not on, so sorry, kids. I can show your production teacher, Mr. Riley, and his wall of fame. You recognize any of these pictures? That was so great. What a situation with a TV studio at the award-winning Sandwich High School, award-winning broadcast news from high school students, which I can't show. But we were there, and I can show Mr. Riley and a little tour of the backgrounds and the walls without any students at Sandwich High, and then coming back here and watching the sun go down on a cold Tuesday evening. All right, Steve, I'll come get you. Rex is inside. Thanks for watching. Here's the and more from mostly Cape Cod on our Tuesday. Talk to you tomorrow on a warm Thursday. Back to March weather. Nice wind. Look at that. Groomers, we got groomers. I'm launching. Oh, what a day. Nice time lapse today. All right, gonna hit the road. What's going on here? Fueling up in the middle of the road. Oh, hydro seeding. Even the sidewalk's gonna have grass on it. Cool. New boulders. Yeah, look like 5 tons, 4 ton boulders. .48 degrees at 10:50 a.m. and my viewers told me the scientific word for when the oak leaves or any leaves don't fall off until spring. I think it started with an M. And it rained down here. Just ending now. Pretty fun sky on my way to Sandwich High. Backside of the last coast-to-coast March 2025 storm. High atop the terminal moraine of the ice mass. Look at that view. Rain just ended. I think this is the place. No sign. Wow, it's big. There's a flagpole rack, and the wind won't stop. Cynthia, sun just came out. Perfect time. So we're at the Sandwich High School studio. It looks a lot better than my college studio I had. And there's Chad and Bob and Mr. Riley. Dan?
How you doing?
His wall of fame. So all these were your students and they went on?
Yes, from all different schools over the years. And if they're in the professional field, then they make the wall.
Wow.
Gotta let the kids know that there's a job out there.
Look at that, WCVB, Channel 8, Channel 11. That was Cape Cod Station. Is that Miss Massachusetts right there?
That is.
Oh, hey, Jackie. 11 questions with Jackie. Oh, I was thinking maybe that was Channel 11, remember?
She's even up there with her award.
Oh, Jackie.
She gets to go twice, I guess.
Oh, miss you, Jackie. Dylan, weather. You got a weather meteorologist? Where's he? NBC New York.
Yes.
Dylan, I got to find you and meet you. Laura, NBC Tennessee. Wow, this is neat.
This is Maine. He's an anchor.
Look at all these awards. Award-winning productions out of Sandwich High School.
And their Emmys are out in the hall.
And the Emmys.
The New England Emmys are all in here.
Wow. This is very impressive. Celebrate student success.
They've won Best High School News Broadcast in New England 5 years in a row.
Congratulations. Wow.
The kids here are very talented.
You must be so proud.
So great. So great.
How fun.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it.
I'm so happy to meet you.
Yeah.
New England Scholastic Press Awards, Sandwich High School, first place, Best High School TV News Program 2021. Emmy Awards. Oh my goodness. What a rewarding
Best
career.
Talent. And she went on to top 5 in the country, Best Anchor, high school. She's going to school at Elon University now. So she's going on to bigger and better things.
Did you work in the TV industry for a while?
I didn't. I just went right to teaching. Yeah.
And did you have a seed planted when you were a young person?
Well, I wanted to be a geography teacher, and then I took a video class, and that was it. I switched.
Most people are opposite.
Exactly.
Most people get in front of the camera and says, I think I want to do geology.
Exactly.
Well, thank you for having me.
No problem.
This is so fun. And I get to talk to the 9th grade. That's my challenge.
There you go.
I think I'd rather be in front of a TV camera. Very fun. Performance, respect, integrity, dedication, excellence. This is a gorgeous school. Wow.
Now, if you take a look right into here, you'll see our gymnasium. You probably have a gym class.
Ooh, nice. Hockey. Backstage, waiting for the ninth grade to come into the auditorium. This is a tremendous facility. Just can't believe how large it is. Brand new auditorium here, all kinds of lighting. And I get, 100 students about to file in. Haven't done ninth grade in a long time. It's the most challenging, I think, that age. Putting on a play this weekend. Hadestown, Sandwich High School. April, looks like 4 through the 11th. Come see it. So you're not allowed to make videos of kids, so we were not going to focus on anybody, but we were just at the Sandwich High School, and we talked about what is wind, and what's a hydrometeor, and what weather does, and it was a blast. Thank you for having me.
Not easy to do ninth grade.
Okay, we got surf ski weather on there. We managed that. And look at the side monitors. This is so neat. Oh, man. Thanks for having Mr. Aldrich. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, Tim. Thank you for being here.
That was a blast.
This is special for us.
Oh, wow. The day has changed. It is definitely cold air advection. I just heard a bird. And we've got sinking air now. Oh, I forgot to talk about the difference between rising and sinking air. Get those kids back. 2:45 p.m., 54 degrees back in Weymouth. And trees are starting to bud. I see daffodils are out. So the herring cannot be far behind. I think it's still a tad early. I got on my polarized glasses so I will be able to see them very quickly. And I do not see them. So the herring watch is on. I heard something. Didn't sound good. It doesn't look good either. Wow, that's a big piece. They don't make cars like they used to, do they? I just passed 3 back to the Big Dig now. You can see some sediment in the water there being carried by the currents. Fluid dynamics are fun. And we'll go out and see what kind of grooming we got done today. Hi, Mitt. We've got a Mitt sighting. It's pretty out, but pretty chilly. Let's conclude this day. Very fun. Meeting the ninth graders. Sad that we're not allowed to show them on YouTube with this modern, I don't know, fear society. Not sure what causes it, but we're not allowed to make videos of the kids we teach anymore. That wasn't the case when I started. And the planes are landing pretty slowly from southeast to northwest. Coming in pretty close a couple times. Right now they're kind of distant. Oh, look who came out for 5 o'clock. Actually, it's closer to 6. Hi, Mitt. How do you like that breeze? You're a Maine Coon. You must like it. Any chance you could look at the camera? Yeah, there you are, handsome. All right, I think that concludes the day. Started off with the rain. We chased the rain to Cape Cod. Fun day at the Sandwich High School. What a fun tour. Thank you, Bob, and everyone for hosting me. And watch some time lapse of both clouds leaving Weymouth, and then the clouds leaving Cape Cod a little bit later. It's chilly Tuesday. The moon is up there behind the flag, but we can't see it. Crescent pink moon. Unfortunately, it's going to be rather gray the next couple nights, so I'm not sure when we're going to see the moon again. Maybe Friday night. Birds are talking to you, man. And into the wind. Handsome Mitt. Thanks for the cameo. Thanks for watching, everybody. Talk to you tomorrow.